Well, back now to our top story this morning. A new White House program that could potentially spell big trouble for business owners nationwide, essentially providing a streamline between employees at businesses across the country who have complaints about their employers and the American Bar Association, or ABA, which would potentially give advice and might even take cases, not free, but on a contingency fee basis, meaning they get paid if they get a payout for those would-be plaintiffs. Joining me now, Ben Ferguson and Leslie Marshall. Both are radio talk show hosts and both have some thoughts on this one. All right, Ben, so the ABA, I said at the top that they endorsed President Obama. They didn't endorse President Obama because they don't actually endorse candidates. But
they will now.
But listen, but they're left-leaning. I mean, I was a lawyer. I practiced law for 9 years. They're left-leaning. They've supported, they do lobbying work. They're way more attorneys give to Democrats than to Republicans who are part of the ABA. And they've supported things, I mean, we'll let the viewers decide. They're for gay marriage. They're against Don't Ask, Don't Tell. They came out very strongly against the Arizona immigration law. They've taken liberal positions on abortion and gun control. They've been accused of bias and unfairly evaluating conservative candidates for the bench, but being very open and welcoming to liberal candidates for the bench. So that's the ABA, okay? So now they get this essential gift from the Obama administration. Look, what do you make of it?
It's a free ad campaign for the ABA. I mean, literally you have the White House saying, hey, we will buy you a national ad campaign, get you the cream of the crop cases. You can go through them. It doesn't cost you a dime. And oh, by the way, all the lawyers out there, the members of the ABA, you're the only ones that get to see the cases and the possibilities here. And again, this is coming from the president who I think it was just yesterday with Bill O'Reilly during the Super Bowl said, hey, I'm pro-business, I'm pro-small business. But all of a sudden he goes, hey, I want to help sue small businesses and all these other companies. This is a classic example of this White House getting in bed with lawyers and trial lawyers and everything else and giving them what they want, which is a great ad campaign. And this is going to kill hiring and kill small businesses.
Leslie, a lot of people believe the reason we don't have meaningful tort reform in the health care law is because of the trial lawyers and the influence they exert over Democratic politicians through donations and lobbying and otherwise. And they may see this as more fuel for that same argument.
Well, I have to tell you, even though I'm a liberal Democrat, as you know, Megan, I'm married to a doc, and I'd love to see some caps on malpractice. Oh, my God, I have a hangnail. Let's sue my doctor. But when it comes to litigation, which you would know better than I, it's not as easy as you pick up the phone and you say, hey, I don't like my boss, let me sue. You obviously, as a lawyer, have to have enough information to go forth with some kind of a suit, and the ABA is no exception. What I feel this is doing is clearing the way for employees, if they have a valid gripe, to have access if they don't have the funding. Owning 2 small businesses myself, I'm not worried because I don't violate laws and I treat my employees
But that doesn't always save you.
But you also
I'll get to you in 1 second, Ben. But Leslie, as you know, as a small business employer, that doesn't always save you. Frivolous lawsuits come all the time because plaintiffs see they have dollar signs in their eyeballs, thanks in part to lawyers who try to gin up their thoughts of some big payout against somebody like you and your doctor husband.
Oh, no, that's absolutely true, Megan, no question. But with or without this, there are still going to be, unfortunately, frivolous lawsuits for people that want to have their hand out rather than work hard and earn money and be honest.
But, Ben, you know, the argument that the other side raises is a lot of these employees are small, you know, sort of small employees. They don't have a lot of money. They can't hire a lawyer. And this is giving them some much-needed advice from, in some cases, some employers who are abusing them.
But there are lawyers already out there that will take your case on contingency. This is advocating for people to sue and to settle. This is going to be a bunch of quick settlements, the same way that we see when you know people that go after insurance policies are doctors and say, hey, how much do they have when it comes to liability? How much do they have when it comes to this, that, or the other? They're going to go after the insurance policies here, which makes it more expensive to do business. There are already lawyers out there that if you have a genuine case, will take it on contingency for a third. There's not a lack of lawyers out there or commercials for those lawyers saying if you've been wrong. But look at this administration. This is the same administration, if we remember about a year ago, that ran an ad saying even if you're an illegal immigrant, call us and we'll go after your employer if you don't think they're paying you the correct wage or they're working you over 40 hours, even if you're a legal immigrant. This is a policy of this White House attacking businesses and small businesses and even standing up for people that are breaking the law by being here.
The thing is, Leslie, what does the ABA get out of it? If they're not going to go sue, if they don't think they're going to get a bunch of lawsuits they can bring on behalf of would-be plaintiffs, what do they get out of this?
Well, I would agree. It would obviously bring more business their way, firstly, but it does allow opportunity for employees who are alleging that their employer has mistreated them and broken the law to have access. Ben, I disagree with you regarding the law. Let's look at the stats of medical malpractice. Overwhelming majority of juries side with the physicians, thank God. And quite frankly, nowadays, especially in a bad economy, the insurance agencies are not settling.
Quite the
so
expensive to get there. It's so expensive to get there. Let me just tell you, this is okay. So now I graduated from law school in 1995, and back then, okay, first year out of practice, back then, for a client to hire my firm, and we would draft a motion to dismiss a completely frivolous complaint filed against one of our clients, it probably run up about $30,000 in lawyer fees just to get the motion to dismiss ready, just to get rid of a BS lawsuit. That was, you know, back in the dark ages. Can you imagine what it is now? That's the problem. Like, you file these frivolous lawsuits, it still costs a lot of dough. I hope you and your husband don't have to deal with that too much. Ben, Leslie, thank you both.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks for having us.